Yo, you got room for one more?
You got a screw loose, kid? What the?
Metal Arms, Glitch in the System, is a game about playing as a cocky little robot armed with an arsenal of weaponry to obliterate his foes. Metal Arms, Glitch in the System, is a game I never really saw anyone talk about, especially people that I knew. But I learned about it in the official PlayStation 2 magazine, and inside that issue was a demo, and I remember playing through it countless times. More than I remember. Trust me, it's a big number. Metal Arms is a mix of a third-person shooter, platformer, and racing combined to make one killer experience. Badass game needed a badass cover. What does it look like? Yeah, definitely badass. Once again, the cover to Metal Arms was another example of my favorite kind of covers. Staring down the barrel of a smoking gun was never not cool. Seeing the main character Glitch giving you the "eat this" look, well, we definitely know whatever Glitch is aiming at. It ain't lasting much longer. So that's the front cover. But what does the gameplay like? Metal Arms, Glitch in the System, is mainly a third-person shooter. There's the occasional platforming or driving section, but you'll mostly be blowing away the evil millbots with some serious firepower. So that's the gameplay. Now, let's look at some of the enemies. First we have the hilarious millbots.
Ah, cut it out! Will you stop shooting me?
The millbots are your standard enemies, but the thing that makes them unique is their chatter, which is hilarious to listen to, especially when they shoot each other and actually react to it. Also, when they scream and run away when they know they're screwed. You can even completely remove their arms and heads, which actually affects them. Whenever I damage their gun arm and watch it shoot in all directions, is always a marvel to watch them shoot an unexpected rocket into the face of their friend. After the battle is over, you normally see a bunch of legs running around, which is really funny. Next, we have the Titan, which is a massive war machine armed with dual miniguns and a shoulder-mounted rocket launcher.
You are advised to stay
They also have big feet,
or face
so they can squish you.
destruction.
Pretty much a bug to them. These guys mean business and are probably the toughest millbots to battle against, especially when they are paired with other mills. Going for their arms is the best strategy. Plus, you can use their rockets to blow up their friends. Destroying their legs won't destroy them, but will cause them to become an emplaced turret. So be careful, as it takes a bunch of firepower to take them out. Here we have the Trooper. They have the ability to fly, which makes them extremely hard to hit.
Long range and lethal.
Fucking hate you. These guys are tough to fight, as they move really fast, and you can lose sight of them in seconds. Best way to deal with them is to use the spear, as trying to use a rocket launcher on them is pretty much impossible. They have dual blades, which they use to swoop down and slash as they land. Since they can fly, it makes them annoying. Definitely my arch nemesis. Next, we have the infamous Guard. Yeah, that's his name. And these guys can be a real pain, especially in numbers. The Guards are tall, trident-wielding, well, guards. They also have a ranged scatter blast attack, which eats your health. They also move really fast, and can close that gap real quick. And if you're not careful with the swinging attack, they can literally stun lock you, which, you know, is fun. Now we have these things, the Zombots, which are literally undead robots. Yeah, some spooky stuff. These things are creepy and will basically attack anything that looks alive. You know, like real zombies. Best strategy to taking them down is either the scatter blaster or a tasty rocket. Be aware, because even though they scatter to pieces, they aren't dead. It's when they explode is when they're really dead. Next, we have the swarmers. They're small, fast, and look creepy. Because spiders are scary. Yeah. Isn't it obvious why these things are scary? I mean, look at them. Ugh. Anyway, they hate hot things. Like fire. So burn them. Here, we have the predators. They're fast, and they pack a punch. They also make weird noises. As you can see, they fly. So I love them. Yay. Using rockets is tricky as they move quick, so use the spear. That'll show 'em who's boss. So that's some of the enemies you'll encounter throughout the game. Now, let's have a look at the two bosses of the entire game. First up, the Zombot King. First we have the Zombot King. He's big, mean, and probably doesn't smell nice. He looks intimidating since, well, look at his face. But don't worry, he's only hungry and can smell those Corin charges in your pocket. So go ahead and feed him to him. Also, you gotta be fast, otherwise your new friend Moza will be turned into freshly cut veggies. Now, we have the big bad boss man, General Corrosive. Yeah. Pretty mad. General Corrosive is a massive war machine, bigger than a Titan. I mean, much bigger than that guy. A Titan's a baby compared to this guy. Stay clear of his massive feet, otherwise, yeah, that happens. The tricky thing about this boss is your weapons have no effect on him, so you have to use your brain or your chip because you're a robot. Anyway, he uses rockets to destroy the containers to find the blue chips to take control of him. Now you've completed the game, right? But wait, there's a final level, which means final battle. The ship ends up crashing and Glitch thinks he's won. But then General Corrosive stands up, damaged. But now he's undead, or he's really pissed off. Now, the fight is much simpler. You have to literally peel him apart, because now your weapons damage him. This fight is long and epic, and I remember feeling like a true hero when I finally defeated him. So that's the enemies and the bosses. Now, let's look at some weapons to use to destroy the evil millbots with. First, we have the mining laser. It's the first weapon you get, so it's not that effective. But, unlike other weaponry, instead of using ammunition, it has a bar that recharges when not being fired. Next, we have the spear, which is machine gun, so it fires fast and shreds mills in seconds, especially when you upgrade it. Here, we have the scatter blaster, the shotgun weapon of the game. It's really powerful, especially up close, and upgrading it makes it into a freaking boomstick. Now, we have the rocket launcher, which makes things go boom. At first, it's slow, but packs a punch, but when upgraded, can load multiple missiles and fire rapidly. Next is the rivet gun that shoots, well, rivets. It can shred mills quickly, plus, when it's upgraded, the rivets become explosive. Next up is the Ripper, which literally fires saw blades that can dismember the limbs of enemies, and can be used to cut wires. Here's the Slingshot, which can launch explosives at high speed that causes complete chaos. Just don't stand too close to what you're aiming at. Next is the Toaster, which is a flamethrower. Pretty self-explanatory. It's capable of melting everything you aim it at. Here we have the Tether, which allows you to take control of millbots, which is really fun. Upgrading allows the hacking of more bigger mills. Lastly, we have Glitch's Hand, which can be used as a last resort to bitch slap the mills and show him who's boss. So that's the enemies, the weapons, and the bosses you'll find, use, and encounter throughout the game. Metal Arms will never not be fun for me. And going back to it today made me remember why so many Friday nights were spent on this game. While exploring levels, you'll come across these gold chips, which are used to unlock multiplayer levels. Some levels even have speed chips, which required you to speed through a level. Luckily, it's not every level, and you can always go back through the level select and collect all the chips. So, it's not restricted, and you won't have to make another save to collect everything. So that's Metal Arms, Glitch in the System. A really fun game with some memorable characters, and a solid experience that even to this day still holds up. Take care everyone, and I hope you all have an awesome possum day.
Hey, Crunk, were you able to repair our mystery bot?
Of course I f***ing fixed him. It was a huge pain in the f***ing waistband, because he's some kind of custom jobby, but nothing I couldn't handle. Some of his memory chips were fried, so he'll need a new data upload. But after that, he should be as good as f***ing new.